Top of the morning, y'all. Let me get to my domain so I can address this matter. Let's see, hold up. Got that on. Okay, what's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on, y'all? I'm here to address the whole Carson Wentz needs weapons theory. Now, this ain't a video to criticize Wentz or nothing like that. This just to talk about free agency and how the fans feel about bringing in some more weapons for the particularly the wide receiver core. So of course y'all know me, I'm a numbers cruncher. I'm a math man, so I looked up the basically the top, maybe let me see, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4. The top 5 free agent wide receivers for 2017. Now throughout this fan base, you got a lot of fans saying we want DeSean Jackson back. A lot of fans want Alshon Jeffery here. Pryor just came into the mix. A lot of fans want Terrelle Pryor here. You know what I'm saying? Then you got names like Michael Floyd and yeah, like Michael Floyd. Now, out of all of them guys. Now, to discuss the Alshon Jeffery thing, man, like he got suspended for PEDs, 4-game suspension. This was all after I guess we tried to make a run at him before the trade deadline kicked in. So you know what I mean? I would make a run at him if I could, but at the same time, like, we already got a guy that faced his second suspension in Lane Johnson. So I don't know if that's a good idea or a bad idea. I know Alshon Jeffery would be a good enough added piece to the team. Like he's a pretty damn good receiver, but the whole thing about the PEDs coming up and him getting suspended for 2 games, that kind of like alerted me. Didn't scare me away from making a run at him, but it kind of put me on notice with that one. Now DeSean Jackson. Now let's get into this whole theory with bringing back DeSean Jackson. The reason why I like that move is because I was talking to my man Ron Sullivan last night, and we was discussing we were discussing the free agency class coming in, and who he more so like why you want to go backwards and bring back guys. And he had a whole discussion. He was like, we had those guys in their prime and we didn't win shit with them. Now, a lot of fans, they pissed at Chip Kelly for breaking up the team and everything. And I'm pissed at him for that too. But like my man's theory was, we had them, they was in their prime, they didn't do shit for us, like we didn't win shit and all of that. My theory is this. When you got guys in their prime that's playmakers, because don't get me wrong, you can find a playmaker and any player can become a playmaker, but the thing is, you had like Shady McCoy 1 year removed from winning the rushing title, and then the bad year that we did have with the offensive line being all messed up and all, Shady was having games where he had like 12 yards in the game. He still managed to get 1,300 yards rushing. Now, y'all all know my theory now is, the guys you got on the team, you have to have one guy at every position. Don't get me wrong, solidify yourself with the pack. Like, be a part of a team of receivers that play good. But at the same time, I always want that one guy that separates itself from the pack stat-wise, play-wise, like a defensive coordinator's nightmare, like a cornerback's nightmare, like a guy you're not going to get Julio Jones all the time. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get a Calvin Johnson all the time. But you can get a guy on your team that rises above the ranks of the rest of the receiving core, and you know that name going to come up 5-10 times out the week when you talking about game planning against us. You know what I'm saying? So right now, I know a lot of fans' patience is thin with the wide receiving core. Every time we lose a game, they wait till Wentz get weapons this, wait till Wentz get weapons that. The receivers played pretty damn good against the Redskins, and it was a good game, you know what I'm saying, up until that last fucking play where Matt Tobin let Ryan Kerrigan strip sack Carson Wentz. We was driving the ball, and it looked like, you know, we was going to probably win the game. But, you know, of course, once we lose, it always goes back to, oh, wait till Wentz get weapons. Like, seems to me like a lot of the fans haven't been watching, like, my theory start to hold a lot more validity and hold a lot more substance throughout the year. Like, you seen Aguilar last night, like yesterday. He didn't blow you out the water, but he was all right. You know what I'm saying? It seems like the fans lit a fire, like I've been saying, light a fire under their asses of the guys that's on the team already, and you know, maybe they'll step up, you know what I'm saying, and get their shit together. Now, we done talked about Ertz all week. Ertz had a good game yesterday. You know what I'm saying? He benched Aguilar against the Packers. Aguilar's starting to not drop the ball, which is the first most important thing of a wide receiver, catch the ball. But Aguilar looked like he played with a lot more intensity, you know what I'm saying? Then you have Dorial Green-Beckham was hurt yesterday. You got Jordan Matthews. Now, he always probably out of all our receivers been the most solid. So, but you still got fans saying, wait till Wentz get weapons, wait till Wentz get weapons. Needless to say, my theory, like I said, has been coming to life more and more every game. Like, we played terrible against the Bengals, but you saw it yesterday, like, as a quarterback gets to gel and develop chemistry with his receivers, you start to see the timing and the chemistry, and you start to see all of that come together. So my theory with the fans was, let's not always beg to get weapons here, and let's see what these young, because they're young guys. They not 28, 29-year-old veterans. They young guys. So I'm like, let's give them a chance to see if once they develop enough chemistry with Wentz, whether it's the offseason or whatever, let's see if they come out better, and let's not try to run them out the city because they're not playing up to par. Like, these are young guys. They all trying to gel together, and it's going to take a little bit of time, but they're young guys. You know what I'm saying? But that was my theory, and I think they played pretty good yesterday, you know what I'm saying, for the most part. It looks like they're starting to understand, you know, the process of becoming one with your quarterback, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, aside from all of that, now, like I said, you got a lot of fans that want to bring DeSean Jackson back, and I'm with it, but I'm going to get into my DeSean Jackson theory after I read off these stats. Now, one of the guys that's coming up in all the conversations is Terrelle Pryor. This is his best year, but it's like one of his only years at receiver. He was a quarterback at first. So 63 receptions, 858 yards receiving, 13.6 yards per catch, 4 touchdowns this year. Now, for his career, he got 65 catches, 922 yards, 14.2 yards per catch, 4 touchdowns. So he had 1 year we had 1 catch for, I think, 20-some yards. Another year he had 1 catch for 40-some yards. So now Pryor runs a 4.38. You know what I'm saying? So that's his stats. Now let's get into Alshon Jeffery. This year, 40 receptions, 630 yards, 15.8 yards per catch, 1 touchdown. Now, he runs a 4.48. Now, of course, like I said, he had that 4-game suspension this year for PED use. Now, his best year was 2013. 89 receptions, 1,421 yards, 16 yards per catch, 7 touchdowns. The funny thing about it, his career high is 10 touchdowns. That was a year later. 2014, he had about 85 receptions, I think 1,100-something yards receiving, and he had 10 touchdowns. So far it seems like Alshon Jeffery is the best option, which is pretty true. Now, as far as his 1,000-yard receiving, I think he had 2 years. I'm not sure. I got to look back at that stat. I thought I wrote everything down. Now, my man Ron Sullivan brought up Michael Floyd last night. This year, he's 33 receptions, 446 yards receiving, 13.5 yards per catch, 4 touchdowns. His best year was 2013, 65 receptions, 1,041 yards, 16 yards per catch, 5 touchdowns. Now, his career high for touchdowns in the season is For his career, for Alshon Jeffery's career, 292 receptions, 4,358 yards receiving, 14.9 yards per catch, 25 touchdowns for his career. Now, he's been in the league 2012. Michael Floyd career, 242 receptions, 3,739 yards, 15.5 yards per catch, 23 touchdowns. Now, he's been in the league long as Alshon Jeffery. Now, DeSean Jackson. Now, he been in the league before all these guys. He came in the league 4 years before all of these guys I just named. So, getting into his stats this year, 42 receptions, 746 yards, 17.8 yards per catch, 4 touchdowns. Now, his best year was 2013. I don't know what the hell it is about 2013, but these guys had their best years in 2013. So now you have 82 receptions, 1,332 yards, 16.2 yards per catch, 9 touchdowns. Now, career high for DeSean Jackson in touchdowns is 9. He had that twice in his career. DeSean Jackson got a lot of accolades, though. You know what I'm saying? Now, as far as his career stats, 484 receptions, 8,560 yards, 17.7 yards per catch, 46 touchdowns. Now, also a couple accolades he has in his career. He has 4 1,000-yard seasons. He got 2 900-plus yards seasons receiving. And he has 22 60-plus yards receiving touchdowns in his career. That's one behind Jerry Rice for all time. Looks like he's going to break that, you know what I'm saying? But it looks like DeSean Jackson is going to be the all-time career leader for 60-plus yard receiving touchdowns in his career. He got 22. Jerry Rice, the leader, with 23. So 2 more break his record. You know what I'm saying? So now let's get into this theory here that I'm about to get into now. The reason why I want DeSean Jackson back on the team is because right now at 30, he's not going to demand what Alshon Jeffery's going to demand. You know what I'm saying? Terrelle Pryor, me and Sullivan was talking about this last night. It was like it's going to be real hard to get him out of Cleveland. He's an unrestricted free agent, so he can sign wherever he want to sign. But I think Cleveland with 2 draft picks coming up, you know what I'm saying, they could kind of either persuade Pryor to stay there, but they can damn sure make it hard to pry him out of Cleveland like he was saying. Michael Floyd, my man want him to come here, but me, I ain't really crazy about him. So the two names that stick out in free agency to me right now is Alshon Jeffery and DeSean Jackson. Now think about this. This is why I want DeSean here. He's 30 years old. He seems like, he's matured now. He's an 8-year vet. You know what I'm saying? So you bring him here for #1 receiver duties, but at the same time, I don't think you got to break the bank to bring DeSean Jackson back here. You know what I'm saying? Alshon Jeffery, you're going to have to break the bank to get him. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty much a toss-up. Now, me, like I said, when you get fans that want DeSean Jackson to come back, you get a lot of fans that say he's a one-trick pony, like my man who shot your films, Hunter. You know what I'm saying? That's my man. He crazy though, but he called DeSean Jackson a one-trick pony last night. Now, the thing about DeSean Jackson coming back here now, this is what people gotta realize. DeSean Jackson, he's the #1 receiver, and he gets you a lot of yards per reception. So that can make him look like the one-trick pony and all, like he's only good for the deep ball. But what a lot of fans don't understand is this. If you bring another receiver in here like Alshon Jeffery, you bringing him in to be your #1, right? Now, the theory that everybody needs to get through their head is this. If you're going to bring a receiver in to be #1 with Alshon Jeffery capabilities, he has to, like I've been saying all year, he has to separate himself from the pack and be that #1 receiver. Like, that means you have to come in, and it's a guarantee that you're going to get us 1,300 yards receiving, 75 plus receptions, 5 to 10 touchdowns on the year. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're coming in and you're doing that, every time I do these videos, I get dizzy. But anyway, if you're coming in and you're doing that for us, then teams will have to watch you, game plan for you, watch the film on you, and pretty much take you out the game every time we play you. Every time they play us. You know what I'm saying? So, let's say Alshon Jeffery has a bad game. The receivers got to step up. The number 2, the number 3, and occasionally the number 4. They got to step up. Now, getting into my DeSean Jackson theory, like I said, now to invest in Alshon Jeffery and bring him here for the price that it's going to cost to get him, and there ain't even no guarantee that you're going to get him here, for the amount of money it's going to cost to get Alshon Jeffery, I don't think it's worth the risk no more. Like, he got a PED suspension already. You know what I'm saying? He does have, he is a great receiver. But I think the investment in DeSean Jackson will be better, and this is why. When DeSean Jackson's on the field, you have to account for him. Like yesterday, for example. They had him in man coverage on Leotis McKelvin, and he burnt them. Now, put DeSean Jackson on the same team as Jordan Matthews. Now, y'all see what Riley Cooper did when we had DeSean Jackson and Riley Cooper here. Riley Cooper had a career year. The next year, he regressed. You know what I'm saying? DeSean Jackson was gone. If you bring DeSean Jackson in here now, it ain't a fan that's watching this video right now can tell me that Jordan Matthews not a better receiver than Riley Cooper. Now, if you look at Washington, you see Washington putting DeSean in the slot. They lining their receivers up all over the place. So it's a no-brainer to bring him here, you know what I'm saying, and line him up all over the place. When you got to account for DeSean Jackson and you have a receiver like Jordan Matthews on your team, now, like I said, when you bring in the number 1 receiver, he has to be the number 1 receiver. Not no identical stats to the number 2 receiver. Not no 50 receptions in a year, 800 yards receiving, and your number 2 got better stats than you. If you bring in the number 1 receiver to the Philadelphia Eagles, he has to be the number 1 receiver for the Philadelphia Eagles. Stat-wise, mentality-wise, play on the field-wise, your stats got to separate you from the pack completely. Now, DeSean Jackson provides that. Now, he might not get a lot of receptions, but he does get a lot of yards in the season. You know what I'm saying? Because he's good for them big plays. Now, that's the type of guy you got a game plan for because you know week in and week out. Now, safety help over the top. You get like the best cornerbacks, right? Like, that's a guy you got a game plan for. Like, that's a guy you got to say, okay, I got to pin my best cornerback to him all game. You know what I'm saying? But he's only going to be like having complicated matchups with the top tier cornerbacks in man coverage. But you got to account for DeSean Jackson all game. So if you bring DeSean Jackson here and you just know he's going to require safety help over the top, that opens up a lot more for the rest of the receivers. Now, if you got a receiver like Jordan Matthews out there, you got a receiver like Green Beckham out there, now you got 2 6-foot-plus guys, and you got a fast-ass dude that you know can burn you deep if you sleep. You know what I'm saying? So, put DeSean on the outside, let Matthews play the slot, put Dorial Green Beckham on the other side. Now, Dorial Green Beckham, he got a lot of potential, and I know a lot of people saying he's a lazy player and all of that, but the way he's been playing like these last couple games before he got hurt, he's looked like he's starting to gel with the offense. So now bring DeSean Jackson in here. Boom, okay. DeSean's back with the Eagles. Jordan Matthews is a good, receiver. He does get a lot of drops. Don't get me wrong, but he goes to bat for Wentz. Like I've been saying this for a while now. He looks like he's that guy that wants to make plays. So what you think Jordan Matthews' mentality going to be when he knows that teams is going to key on DeSean Jackson? What you think his mentality going to be? The same mentality he had his rookie year playing beside Jeremy Maclin. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna want that playmaking like onus on him. And even sitting in the locker room, he can sit with DeSean Jackson and be like, listen, man, you know you already know they're going to game plan to stop me. It's your time to step up. You've been doing it as the number one here, so to speak. Like, me, I think the Jordan Matthews is a legit number 2. So, it ain't even no question. Like, my theory is the number 2 receiver always got to compliment the number 1. When the number 1 not having a good game, you got to open their eyes to realize that you're on the field too. You know what I'm saying? So you got to open their eyes and have them watching you, as opposed to just saying, yo, if you take DeSean Jackson out the game, the rest of the receivers ain't going to do shit. You know what I'm saying? Jordan Matthews is a good receiver. You know what I'm saying? He just got a lot of drops, but he's a good receiver. So he'll be an even better complimentary number 2. He'll be a complimentary number 2 with Alshon Jeffery on the team. But I think you can get the same production out the rest of the receivers, whether you got DeSean Jackson at a cheaper price than Alshon Jeffery. The fans love DeSean Jackson. They want DeSean Jackson to come back. I think his mindset now is if I go back to Philly, I'm definitely going to ball out for them fans. They love me. They want me to come back there. So I think bringing him back will help our receiving core out. I wouldn't risk getting Alshon Jeffery. You know what I'm saying? I know he got good career stats. He has good career stats, don't get me wrong. He's a great receiver. But DeSean Jackson is my pick to get in free agency. Now, I know a lot of fans like, why, like I said, a lot of y'all stuck on that we didn't win shit with him here. That's because the roster that Chip Kelly got handed. Now, this is the thing. The roster Chip Kelly got handed to him. Now, they coming off 8-8 seasons, 4-12 seasons, 10-6 season with Michael Vick. You know what I'm saying? Then they built the dream team, and we just went to shit. But for the most part, Chip Kelly wanted to be arrogant. Like, now I'm saying, once he got DeSean Jackson here, and DeSean had his best season under Chip Kelly, McCoy had his best season. Had his Russian title winning season under Chip Kelly. Everybody started to get in Chip Kelly air, and start to hype him up and make him look like a genius when they said it's a scheme that can make any player better. So when you got a guy like DeSean Jackson having his best year stat-wise, and you got the media all spreading the word that, oh my God, Chip Kelly's system can make any player better. I think Chip Kelly got a little arrogant and said, all right, well, I can get rid of DeSean Jackson and just have another 1,300-yard receiver a year later. Which happened. We had Macklin. You know what I'm saying? We had Macklin. Macklin pretty much duplicated what DeSean Jackson did the year before. We had the same record. So it wasn't really no drastic drop in number 1 receiver. And Jordan Matthews did what Riley Cooper did. You know what I'm saying? The only difference that year was Dallas Cowboys was just better than us. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, we probably pretty much duplicated what we did the year before. We had it a little bit harder because the offensive line was hurt for most of the year. You know what I'm saying? So the run game wasn't really good as it should have been. But for the most part, you still had a 1,300-yard receiver. You still had Jordan Matthews pretty much duplicating what Riley Cooper did the year before. And you had Shady McCoy still managed to get 1,300 yards on the ground, even though he had some terrible some bad games. You know what I'm saying? So in spite of all of that, Chip Kelly decided to get rid of players. And the only reason I'm mad he got rid of them is because, you got rid of 25, 26-year-old guys. I can understand a guy turning 30 and you all right, he still is a good receiver. He still is a big play threat, but he's getting older now. He's in his 30s. You know what I'm saying? He had a great year last year, but, he's 30, 32 years old. We need to go younger. You don't get rid of guys in their prime and they in their 20s. You know what I'm saying? That was arrogant. And that's what he did. And right now we trying to clean up the mess. So for DeSean Jackson to feel intrigued by a reunion with Philadelphia, that gets me hyped because he's already been here. You know what I'm saying? The one-trick pony thing and all of that, you could say that, but at the end of the day, man, bringing the number 1 receiver in here like him is grounds for the rest of the receivers to step up at every opportunity they get. They have to step up with every opportunity that they get. You know what I'm saying? So if you can't step up in the ranks with a guy like DeSean Jackson on your team, look at Washington. They have a bunch of weapons. Kirk Cousins got an arsenal. Pierre Garçon, he's still a good receiver. Jordan Reed, one of the best tight ends in the league. Like, that running back they got, he's beasting. You know what I'm saying? They offense is ranked so high now. Like, it's not all about DeSean Jackson, because I know a lot of people like to say, well, what's he doing in Washington? He's been worse. His first year in Washington, he had over 1,000 yards receiving. You know what I'm saying? Now you just got the rest of the guys in the offense stepping up, so it's a lot less pressure for a guy to get 1,000 yards in the season. When you got a team around you, you know that Kirk Cousins can spread the ball around. And that's what I think he provides if he comes back here. Because we all want the deep ball. You know what I'm saying? We all want the deep ball. But it's not going to be there all the time. So you got to step up in other ways. Like, if you see the way Zach Ertz starting to play, he's starting to, like I think the fans lit a fire under his ass, calling him soft and getting on him about that missed block that he had against the Bengals. So I think the fire that it lit in him made him want to go out there and ball out. You know what I'm saying? Now, yeah, no doubt. Like, yeah, I was just getting into that, man. Like, if you got DeSean Jackson back on the Eagles, like, Matthews, DGB, they ain't got no choice but to step up, because you have that guy, which I've been saying all year to y'all, you have that guy that teams got to watch and game plan for. You know what I'm saying? So your mentality should always be, I know they're going to game plan to take Jackson out. That's one of the respects that they never gave us in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? They never gave Jordan Matthews' mentality if DeSean Jackson come back should be, what up, Will? I'm chilling, man. Trying to get this DeSean Jackson theory to be clearer to everybody. But Jordan Matthews' mentality if DeSean Jackson come back should be, the NFL cornerbacks, they never respected me enough where I warranted a number one cornerback on me all game. You know what I'm saying? I never got that respect in the NFL. So I'm going to go out there and do my thing now and show them, like, y'all going to game plan for DeSean Jackson and we going to burn y'all in other ways. Now y'all got to watch us all. You know what I'm saying? So he never warranted that kind of respect from a defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to put you on Matthews all game. And I'm not talking about, like, any old cornerback. I'm talking about, like, Patrick Peterson, you play Arizona. Like, Josh Norman when you play Washington. You know what I'm saying? He never really put fear in nobody for them to have to put their number one corner on him. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, if he comes back and he can provide, like, conventional wisdom, because he's an old head now. So, I mean, I'm sure he's going to want his catches. He's going to want the ball. This is the type of receiver I like. You know what I'm saying? And maybe him getting shipped out by Chip Kelly, if he do come back, that's what I'm saying. Like, but he's unrestricted. So, I mean, he can sign wherever he want if he feel like it. You know what I'm saying? Ryan Matthews, another one. Like, I was going to get into the Shady McCoy theory, but I don't think we need that theory right now because we talking about the wide receivers. But yeah, he definitely should be, man. Like, I like how he plays, but he plays good after, like, a fumble game where he got to sit, or he plays good when he come back from injury. But my thing is, stop fumbling. I mean, you can't say stop getting hurt. You could be frustrated with a player that gets hurt a lot, but at the same time, you can't say, yo, stop getting hurt. Like, it just happens. You know what I'm saying? But I think Ryan Matthews, like, the thing about it, man, like, we trying to run this running back rotation, and that's what makes me sick, because you don't want that on a team. Like, you want one running back that's great. You know what I'm saying? And he had the opportunity. Don't get me wrong. He had the opportunity to seize the number one role this year. Like, he was doing all right this year. Even in the rotation, he was separating himself. But then he started to fumble, and it's like, all right, now we got to go with Sproles. So now you run Sproles into the ground because you don't trust Matthews. And then you got the young boy who fumbled in the Dallas game. So it's like, I need a sure thing. I need a sure guy that's going to, like, secure that ball. So then it came down to Sproles getting the ball all the damn time. And that was stupid because you 33 years old. Like, you don't need to be getting the ball every damn time you turn around. So I don't know what we're going to do about this running back committee, man, but that's the reason why I miss Shady, because Shady was a solid back that was our number one guy. You know what I'm saying? He was that guy. Rushing title, a year later, 1,300 yards on the ground. Now we got 4 motherfuckers who done touched the ball all year. Like, it's just too much, man. Like, You don't need all that, man. Like, once you get them guys on your team that did enough, you know what I'm saying? They did enough on the team to warrant that number one at their position, you know what I'm saying? Once Ertz start to do enough and you know he's the number one tight end on the team, you bring DeSean Jackson back, you know right then and there, DeSean going to be the number one receiver. You know that. Defenses know that. Defensive coordinators going to know that. And it's going to be all about stopping DeSean Jackson, letting the rest of the team beat you. If they don't step up and seize that opportunity to feed off of the energy that DeSean, like all the energy and brainstorming that is taking defensive coordinators to game plan for DeSean Jackson, then they don't need to be here. You know what I'm saying? And out of him and Alshon Jeffery, I think DeSean Jackson is a equal option at a cheaper price. And the fact that he got history here, like, it just all goes together. Like I said, I know a lot of people don't want to go backwards. A lot of people talking about he only good for this, he only good for that. Like, listen, man, if Chip Kelly would have did the smart thing and realized the guys he had and realized what else he needed to make the team that much more of a powerhouse, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now, because Chip Kelly think he Belichick. And that's what I told Ryan last night. He thinks he's Belichick. And the funny thing about it, if you look at the history, Belichick and Chip Kelly been good friends. They said Belichick was a guy that was pretty much one of the guys that really lobbied to get Chip Kelly to the NFL. And then if you watch that Patriots game where Jordan Matthews got the touchdown and he spent the ball on the ground and started dancing, from what I hear, I think it was Chris Carter, I think. He said that Chip Kelly pulled Matthews to the side and said, "You'll never play for me again if you do that." So that go to show you, like, the respect he had for Bill Belichick, but it also go to show you, remember the video I did before when I said you got players, coaches, no-nonsense coaches, and dictators. And I said Chip Kelly was a dictator without the proper resume to be one. He think he Belichick. Belichick is a dictator, but he got 4 championships. So when you go to that motherfucking team, you know, like, yeah, this guy is championship caliber coach with a championship caliber quarterback. I'm not blowing this opportunity. Bill Belichick can cut any fucking body and still make the Super Bowl. That's how good of a coach he is. That's how good of a quarterback Brady is. You know what I'm saying? That's what they stress in New England. Like, you come into, this ain't a democracy. This is a dictatorship. Do what the hell I say, do what we say, and learn something. Chip Kelly was like that, but he didn't have the resume. You know what I'm saying? He thought after one good year, I could get rid of anybody and everybody. Like, you can't do that. Like, he should have built off DeSean Jackson, Macklin, McCoy, added a couple pieces in there and said, all right, we went 10-6 this year. Next year, we plan on going 12-4, winning the division, maybe getting the first round bye. What I got to add to this team to make them better? Okay, maybe we should work on our defense. Boom. You look at defensive add-ons. You know what I'm saying? He didn't do none of that. He said, all right, I could cut DeSean Jackson because I know I can get another receiver that does that, which he did with Macklin, so that's cool. Then he like, I can get rid of Shady because I'm going to bring DeMarco Murray in. I'm going to bring Ryan Matthews in. Like, any player can work in my scheme. That's not how you do things. You know what I'm saying? That's why majority of the Philadelphia fans wind up hating you, and they still hate you to this day, because in our reality, you broke up our team instead of building on the team that we had. You know what I'm saying? You don't go 10-6 and break the fucking team up thinking you just going to be able to do that shit again because you're that good. This is the NFL. So, like I said, man, a DeSean Jackson reunion to make me happy. I know that's the first authentic jersey I ever got, and I'm saying I still got it in my closet, so I'll put it back on gladly. Like I said, I think his mentality is way different now than it was back then. Like, he was a young kid, you know what I'm saying, arrogant, setting all these records, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it kind of gets to you and boosts your ego a little bit, you know what I'm saying? He was a little flashy and all that. But over the course of the years, we haven't had that. Like, we had Macklin. Macklin wasn't flashy or personality, like, outside of the locker room. Macklin was like, you know what I'm saying, laid back, cool dude, just duplicated what DeSean Jackson did, and he was quiet about it. But Macklin got a little flash with him, you know, when he danced in the end zone, do his little thing. You know what I'm saying? That come with having wide receivers. But the whole point of this video was, if you're going to add a weapon to the arsenal for Carson Wentz, I don't think you need more than one receiver. You know what I'm saying? I feel like these guys is going with a full off season. You know what I'm saying? I believe these guys are going to step up for Wentz next year. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, you take what you have and you build off of it. Add a piece like DeSean Jackson with these young guys. He come back with the maturity and the mentor mentality that he has now, being 30 years old. He got a son now. You know what I'm saying? So I think he brings a lot more to the table than a guy like Michael Floyd or Terrelle Pryor, like guys like that. And the only reason I want DeSean Jackson, Pryor is a good option too. Don't get me wrong. So if it comes down to us bidding it for Terrelle Pryor, I think the smarter option would be to go with Jackson for the simple fact that it's DeSean Jackson. Like, he been here, and Pryor might cost a little bit too much to get. Like, one thing I'm not trying to do is spend big on a wide receiver more than I have to. You know what I'm saying? Because if we paying you double-digit, 8-figure paychecks in a year, like $12 million, $13 million, and your stat line don't back that up, that's a bad investment. You know what I'm saying? So, just like I get on Wentz about, like, it's not always about you needing weapons and all. You need to bring something to the table. Just like Peterson. You need to bring, your mentality need to bring something to the table. Like, you got to have that leader mentality. So, if we bring in Alshon Jeffery and he just get good stats, but we still losing, that don't help us now. We just got a beast receiver that gets his yards, gets his catches. Then you wind up like Detroit Lions and Megatron. All right, we're going to triple team him because ain't nobody else going to do shit. You know what I'm saying? And then you wind up having bad records and all of that. But you got the best receiver in the NFL. DeSean Jackson, in the games where they game plan for him and they take him out the game, I think he provides a better alternative to other receivers stepping up than Alshon Jeffery would. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people might think I'm crazy for saying that, but it is what it is, man. Like, bring the guy back that, you know, been here, got a relationship with the fans. Y'all seen the fans yesterday, man. Like, they said that was his warmest welcome back since he been gone. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is. Like, I know a lot of people don't want to go backwards. You know, everybody got their opinion on it. A lot of people don't want DeSean Jackson back. You know what I'm saying? This whole he a cancer in the locker room, all of that, man. Like, I'm so sick of hearing that cancer in the locker room shit. Because the only guy I seen ever in Philadelphia that was an actual cancer in the locker room was T.O. T.O. was an actual cancer. Like, he just had disputes with all kinds of players and the team just got worse. I never seen DeSean Jackson having arguments with his teammates or saying, I'm the best guy on this team. All this little extra shit. Like, that's just something that Chip Kelly let the media blow out of proportion and all of that. But bringing him back, I'm with it. Like I said, if he is for the right price, not trying to overspend, because I believe our receivers now, with an added weapon to that receiver core, Wentz should be all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't feel like we should spend a lot of money on a wide receiver. Like, that's the mistake a lot of people get to thinking we need to go out and make. Like, we don't need a $12, $13 million a year wide receiver on this team. Like, it is what it is. Pryor's good. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he having a good-ass year. But it's going to be so hard to get him out of Cleveland with them being able to persuade him with 2 first-round picks and the possibility of making the team better. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though they 0-13, I think, or whatever the fuck they are, Pryor's still going to have looks like he's going to have a 1,000-yard receiving season. But like I said, bringing them type of guys into a team, like, yeah, you can have your great stats all year, but if the team ain't doing better with you on the field, I mean, like, look, Alshon Jeffery had a great bunch of great receiving seasons. Like, DeSean first year we made the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? He was a rookie. A year later, he had his first 1,000-yard receiving season. But the thing about DeSean Jackson, when he was here, we were a team when DeSean was here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were an all-around team when DeSean was here. Like, Macklin was a good, solid number 2. And when DeSean got shipped out, Macklin was able to step up in Chip Kelly offense and be a legit number 1 a year later. So some guys have that mentality where they know they got to step up when the ball gets handed to them. You know what I'm saying? When the responsibilities get handed to them, they know they got to step up. So, like I said, man, I think a better option would be because the free agency class ain't even really that good. I would go with the guy with the best resume and the most wisdom that he could possibly pass down to the young guys. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how Alshon Jeffery mentality is with the Bears. I don't know how Pryor mentality is. And I'm even banking on how DeSean Jackson mentality be if he come back. I'm not saying he's going to be that guy, but we have the best shot at making him, at him being that guy with us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not here to outshine nobody. Like, y'all got to know, when they game plan to take me out the game, that's y'all time to step up. You know what I'm saying? We all got to compliment each other. So, in games where DeSean can't have 100 yards receiving or a big play, touchdown, rest of the guys got to step up. But like I said, basically with this video, I didn't really shy away from my theory on let the guys develop with Wentz. And maybe they'll become like big name players eventually. Like, I didn't shy away from that. I said bring back DeSean Jackson for his wisdom and everything and his maturity. He should be a lot more mature now, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he always going to be flashy. But that's my theory on that, man. Like, stop being mad about fans wanting DeSean Jackson back because they still mad at Chip Kelly for breaking up the team we had. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, maybe they might not have won us anything, but it's a process. You know what I'm saying? So you got to look at the guys you have and look at what you can add to them to make them better. You know what I'm saying? And I told him last night, my man Ryan, I said, look at Dallas. You know what I'm saying? They had a good team already. They went 12-4. They had a good all-around team already. You know what I'm saying? A year later, they went 4-12 because they lost Romo. They lost Dez. Like, they had a bunch of players that got suspended. Like, so they were bad, but it was business. It became, all right, let's get the best draft pick we can get. They got number 4 pick. Murray got shipped out last year. We got a shot at getting Zeke Elliott. We could get Carson Wentz, but he's probably going to go now that the Eagles got number 2. He's probably going to go to the Eagles. Boom. If San Diego don't snatch Zeke Elliott, we're going to get him. And then it was a lot less pressure for them to have to draft a quarterback early. So they got Dak in the 4th round. Look what they doing this year. The only big play, they got big players at every position. They got Dez at wide receiver. They got Witten at tight end, even though he's not the same Witten no more, but he's a Hall of Famer. You know what I'm saying? Boom. You add the right piece. And Zeke Elliott, you can't get no better than that because he's a rookie. He playing on a rookie contract, so it ain't like you broke the bank to get him. You just handled your business when you went 4-12 and you got him at number 4. You know what I'm saying? So now it's all about adding the right pieces around Wentz. You know what I'm saying? So if you bring DeSean Jackson back, I think on maybe a 3-year deal, by the time he's 33, this team should be solidified, like, as far as what they learned from DeSean. Because you're going to have Jordan Matthews and guys like that. They're going to be 25, 26 years old. So that's my take, man. I'm with bringing DeSean Jackson back. I hope he come back. And I hope, you know what I'm saying, my theory is right. Like, we'll get the same type of production from him and the rest of the receiving core that we would get if we signed Alshon Jeffery or Terrelle Pryor. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's familiar. He got a relationship with Doug Peterson, so I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be with it. I'm saying it ain't just about DeSean Jackson. I'm talking about what he can bring back to the table for the rest of these guys. I'm not one of them fans that's ready to ship everybody out of here because they not playing up the par. Like, I'm going good on the theory that these is young guys that need to develop a relationship and establish some continuity and some type of brotherhood with their young quarterback. They all playing in their first year with Carson Wentz. So in due time, you know, let's say next year they still doing the same stuff and like, all right, y'all done had a whole off season. We running out of patience. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think that's going to happen. I think Wentz got the mentality to have these guys rallying around him. All it takes is one good off season and to transfer that ability right onto the field, and we'll be all right, man. These guys is young guys on this team, man. Sometimes you need an old head to come in and say, yo, look, I done seen it all, I done it all. Y'all see the records. Y'all see everything I done did in the NFL in my career. The one thing I never did was mentor young boys. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't just here to be that flashy player getting touchdowns and all of that. I'm going to let y'all know, what I'm saying? When I'm in the game, they're going to game plan to take me out. So y'all guys got to step up, you know what I'm saying? And as simple as that. Go out there and get your name, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Go out there and get your name up. You know what I'm saying? When I'm getting double teamed, get your name up. Do what you got to do to get your name out there. You know what I'm saying? It's simple as that. I keep saying now I'm saying because I'm trying to talk like how the young boys talk to each other. But it is what it is. Come back, give them that little pep talk. Let them guys step up. I think Jordan Matthews is way more capable to do better than what Riley Cooper did in 2013 when DeSean Jackson was the #1 receiver. I just think I just think that's my theory, man. I think Jordan Matthews is more than capable of stepping up. And once it's all said and done, and if Jordan Matthews is still here when he's 27 years old, and you hand them the #1 receiver ranks again, boom, it's curtains. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be a legit #1. But you gotta be patient, man. Like you have to be patient, man. Like, and DeSean Jackson, I feel like he's gonna bring that to the table, man. I just hope he comes back to the Eagles. You know what I mean? I really do. So that's my take on that, man. Hashtag bring back D-Jax. We need D-Jax to come back to Philly. And as simple as that. Yeah. I ain't even watched the game last night, bro. I was all asleep and shit. Like, I woke up at like 11:30. I seen like the last 30 seconds of the game. But yeah, man, like, bring him back. You know what I'm saying? Whatever y'all gotta do, just bring him back, man. And hopefully my theory will get proven right. You know what I'm saying? You'll see what I'm talking about if he comes back to the Eagles. So that's my take on it. This was a long ass video. I didn't even want to make it this long because I wanted to put it on YouTube, but it is what it is. I'm going to post it anyway, but I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.